that sounds good. Oh yeah, what you're about to hear is powered by the men of the square table, who want you to know that the garage fridge is for beer only. Duh. Miller Lite. Good call.
Frosty, Heidi, and Frank. 520-9710. 888-520-9710.
Frosty, Heidi, and Frank.
On Free FM.
We will get your calls on in just a few seconds. 888-520-9710. I think I'm being terribly misunderstood. Again. I think it's great when a minority achieves the top of their field.
Why are you winking?
There's astigmatism. There's something in my eye. I've got
bad contact lenses.
Yeah, my contact
dog hair
dried out.
Why are you crossing your fingers?
It's because I've got arthritis. Yes. Would you leave my afflictions alone? Winky, winky.
Nudge, nudge.
No, what I'm saying is, okay. In this case, we have two Super Bowl teams, each coached by an African-American coach. Okay, that's fine. I don't see the need putting the word African-American before coach. So what? We have two great coaches of the two greatest teams they're going to meet. They happen to be black. Why is the blackness the story? Why is Barack Obama's blackness the story? Why is it the blackness of the story when Denzel and Halle Berry win the Oscars the same year? At some point, haven't we proved, yes, our black brothers and sisters are just as capable as us whiteys of doing anything?
Why are you
Oprah,
holding up a sign that says I don't believe what I'm saying right now?
Yeah, weirdo.
Oprah proves you can be the richest person in Hollywood with one of the most successful shows and own your own production company and be black. So at some point, can we stop pointing out the blackness
See, I understand.
when someone achieves something great? Because it seems like that's a negative thing to point out. It implies, oh, my God, I can't believe a black person did this, and that sets back the...
You wouldn't be saying this if each coach was like 500 pounds, and they're saying, this is the first time two 500-pound coaches have made it to the Super Bowl.
Well, that they wouldn't.
Then you'd be relating to it and going, yeah, see, fat people can do stuff.
Oh, that's
silly.
silly.
We can coach. We might not be athletic. We might be running, driving around on our rascals, but we can still tell people how to do sports.
Oh, that's just stupid.
You'd
They wouldn't go.
You'd be loving life.
But that wouldn't be the story.
Yeah.
No. When did it, whatever. We've had fat coaches before.
I know. Well, here's the thing.
Never a 500-pounder.
I kind of understand what Frosty's saying because I would be just as offended if it was all about, well, she did it. She's a woman. You did it.
Like the Nancy Pelosi crap.
You see it.
No, because eventually you go, yeah, I did it. I'm a human being. I feel I'm just as capable as you, black, white, red, yellow. It doesn't matter. I did it because I'm good. I didn't do it because I'm a woman.
Can I tell you, were you as a woman, an alleged woman, offended by the overdose of attention that Nancy Pelosi got when she became Speaker of the House? That's all you heard. Oh, it's a woman. She even showed up with her grandson on her knee.
Yeah.
Okay, she's a woman. Yeah, women can go high in politics now. We may have a woman president.
This is the first time
but I agree.
highest position ever held.
I agree with Frank.
If you don't point that out, then that's the story.
Right.
If you don't point that out, then you're an idiot.
When you stop pointing it out is when you have achieved true
I'm telling you. The third black coach, you're not going to point it out.
You won't hear about it.
Oh, they will. They will.
So the problem is that there's been probably many coaching jobs opened up, and black assistant coaches apply, and it never goes to a black assistant coach to get the head coaching job. Now, finally, there's been coaches that, they're opening up head coaching positions, but they've never had any winners. Yeah, Art Shell just got fired. What's the guy in Phoenix? He just got canned.
Mm-hmm.
So they haven't been successful. So, and I'm sure back, like I said, there's a problem in the NFL that qualified black assistant coaches never got the head coaching gig. Now, you have two guys who are head coaches, who are great coaches, who are proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that we can be head coaches. If there was doubt before that we're only players and we're only assistant coaches because we're not smart enough to be a head coach, then that's completely wrong now. And it's proven wrong with a stamp on it and a big kick in the ass because they're both black.
And they're going to the Super Bowl. And I agree.
And I applaud that.
I agree with you, Frank.
Sit down, all of you. Sit down.
Cheer.
I agree with you, Frank, 100%. Okay, that
No, you don't. You can't agree with me and him.
No, I can because I agree that it's a good thing, and of course you have to mention first time. Where I think Frosty is right is I guarantee the third time around they're going to go, and Joe Smith this is only the third African American coach to go. It will be pointed out. It never ends. So I agree. You got to mention it the first time, obviously. But if there's another woman Speaker of the House,
they got to have filler. Obviously, you got somebody there holding, passing them stats. They always read stupid stats. Doesn't even matter.
Okay, we'll get your call.
Last time in these kind of conditions, somebody hit a 52-yard field goal was in 1932, and they were wearing leather helmets. His name was, who cares? It's pointless. You're putting in filler.
I think I heard this morning on the way in that Bill Parcells resigned. What did he coach? Was it
football?
Which team? Well, I know. Which
Dallas.
team? Okay, right. He resigned this morning. Now, Frank, in your scenario you said a second ago, let's say there's some assistant coaches up for a job somewhere.
There's a lot of coaching jobs open right now.
Who happen to be black assistants applying for the job. Now, let's say they give it to Parcells. You didn't get it because you're black. You got it because he's more qualified. He was a head coach. So, of course, the fraternity of unemployed and looking and available white former head coaches are probably better qualified to coach your team than an assistant who's never been a head coach. See? It's not racism. It just means for years the coaches happen to have been white.
This happened that way.
Because a lot of blacks did not go into coaching. They went into playing, not coaching. I'm just saying, fine. This should be the last thing we ever mention that a black person has achieved the top of their field. Yes, of course they can. They can do anything.
I think possibly. I'm not sure if it's going to happen or not because I hate always plugging a future guest on our show and then they don't show up and we look like idiots. But I will in this case because you brought it up. Jerry Rice is going to be in here tomorrow if you want to bring this up with him.
Well, I will.
And tell him how you don't think it's a big deal and how it shouldn't be pointed out.
I will.
And we'll see what he thinks since he was in the NFL, one of the greatest players of all time.
I think he'll side with me.
He thinks it was a problem.
I think he'll side with me.
Really?
I think so.
Well, we'll just ask Jerry when he's here tomorrow.
We'll find out tomorrow. We absolutely will.
Yeah, we will.
Unless I happen to call in sick tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. You got TB. You're not going to come in tomorrow.
I think he's a very smart man. I think he'll understand what I'm saying. I really do. We'll find out tomorrow if he's here. Do we know about what time yet, or just we don't?
Probably beginning of the show.
Okay.
Maybe around 10:30, possibly 10 o'clock.
Well, if you can pull off Jerry coming in, we'll find out.
Listen to the whole show.
All right. Meantime, your calls in Phoenix. It's Kevin. Hello, Kevin.
Yeah, hi, Frosty. I completely and totally agree with you.
Racist.
And I'm telling you.
Bad phone connection. But
First white guy with a bad phone. I can say it right there. First white man with a bad phone.
Ryan in Pasadena, you're with Frosty, Heidi, and Frank.
Hey, Trips. I just wanted to say, Frosty, I do understand kind of what you're saying, but Frank kind of alluded to it already, is that, for years, this has been a major, major problem in the NFL, and that's why it's such a big news story. It's not just because the guy's black. It's because there's been a lot of guys up for jobs. It's not that it's just always been white dudes. There's been a ton of black guys up for jobs, and this whole stigma in the NFL, all these white owners, and there's all these people and these backroom deals, and it's been run by these same people for so long that these jobs have been blocked for these guys.
I guess it's because, Frosty, you're not obviously a sports fan or a football fan. You know what Bill Parcells coached.
I know ice skating.
So the fact that you don't know the details of that particular industry, you're going to say, what's the big deal? And yeah, for people who aren't sports fans, what is the big deal? But if in that industry, it is a big deal.
Okay. Help me understand then. I mean, seriously, help me understand how these supposed white, racist owners and managers who make the decisions of who's going to coach the teams, how is it they can justify having blacks all over the roster? Their best players, star players, probably are black, so they know blacks have great athletic and thinking ability on the field. How can they justify that yet say they're not ready for coaching? See, I don't think they would have that. You can't justify that. I think it just means blacks chose not to go for coaching until it was...
So you don't know that because this guy just said, there's been plenty who have applied.
Well,
and never got the job, so you can't say they never tried.
But as I said, their competition
was seemed like a door was closed. But you've reached a certain level of coach, but you're never going to be the head coach.
Okay, assuming
That's the assumption.
Then assuming everything you said is right, we have now achieved it, so let's stop pointing out the next time the head coach is black.
We haven't even played the Super Bowl yet. You want us to already stop pointing it out?
We shouldn't have pointed it out to begin with. Okay, done. Equality, yay. Blacks can coach teams. I knew that.
Are you so upset that they've achieved equality?
I'm not upset. I'm upset.
No, you want us to shut up about it. You don't even want us to put a spotlight on it because you're so upset.
I'm upset.
That it's something that community can brag about.
I'm upset the media keeps making it the big story when it shouldn't even be a story. If it's a story, it should be a two-line mention and be done. But it seems like the big story. It perpetuates racism.
No, it doesn't. Well, actually, it's a true representation of society because the fact that you say we shouldn't point that out, we're living in that world, Mr. Reality. We're living in a world where that has to be pointed out because, there's still racism still exists. And so that needs to be pointed out because there are idiots like, well, I'm not going to say you, but there are people out there who you want to live in this colorblind world, but that's not true. And so that's why you have to point it out.
You're screaming that it's racist reasons that have kept blacks from achieving head coaching positions. I don't think that's true anymore, Frank. I think a school or a team wants the best coach out there.
It's like dancing in the end zone. I hate the fact that you can't over-celebrate anymore. I hate that you get a flag for celebrating.
Oh, I love that.
Well, you would. I hate that fact. You make it to the end zone and you're winning. I hate maybe the celebration when you're down by 40 points and now you're dancing in the end zone. It's like, shut up, idiot, you're losing. But if the guy wants to dance around the end zone, basically it's all for entertainment purposes anyway. Big deal.
I totally agree with you.
Flag and get the 15. So this is basically dancing in the end zone. You don't want to see them dance in the end zone because they finally got there. They finally got the touchdown. Now let's dance.
No, I'm for dancing in the end zone. I'll choreograph it for him. That's fine.
It should be. You just hand the ball to the ref. It shouldn't even be mentioned in the paper that he scored.
I'm on your side on this one. I'm saying celebrate the end zone. I'll lead you.
Let the guy dance.
Yes, I'm saying that.
And if I was Lovie Smith, I'd say, no, I was the first black guy because I won the first game. I was already in.
I do have a problem with that name, Lovie.
I love it.
Anyway, Frank, don't you think any professional sport team and college team, they want to win. They want to win. They don't want to lose. So if they look who's out there available to coach for their position, you can't tell me they're going to go with an underqualified white guy who's not as good a coach ability-wise as a black guy who's assistant available. They've gone with the best person available, be it white or black, because they want to win. I don't think it's racism that's kept blacks out of coaching.
Well, last year, too, the Bears, great season. There was Lovie Smith, end of his contract. They said, do it again. Like it's some fluke. Well, he's a good coach. No, we're not going to renew your contract. We're going to keep paying you less money than some assistants are making on other teams to be our head coach because we want you to do it again. So he does it again. So I'm sure he's going to make his money now, but if that's the point. He had a great season. They're still paying him less than some assistants on other teams.
Well, I don't know. Maybe that franchise doesn't have as much money as the others.
He doesn't have confidence that he's going to be hired anyplace else because he's a black coach. But now, yeah, he's proved himself. Give the guy tons of cash.
So you're suggesting they were paying him less because he's black.
Well, why wouldn't they renew his contract right away? It seems like it was kind of a fluke, wasn't it, Lovie? Really? Come on. Maybe you had a good team and anybody could have done this. Well, no, not really. He stuck with Rex Grossman throughout the year and everyone was saying, stupid, go with Greasy. Now look where he is. He didn't listen to anybody else, did his own thing, and now he's in the Super Bowl.
Brian Greasy?
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't know Brian
I know
Greasy.
Sports. I know Greasy.
Where did he play college?
He played at State.
There you go.
The TV's catching up with it.
He does also quarterback for Denver Broncos for a while.
I'm guessing Brian Greasy is a cutie pie.
Yeah, it looks like that 29-year-old kid's boy his 12-year-old.
Bobby in Burbank, you're on Free FM.
Yeah, Frosty, you gotta shut your mouth up about sports. You don't know the first thing about football. It's obvious.
I knew Brian Greasy's name.
Well, first of all, you messed it up. Yesterday was a big comeback, but the biggest comeback ever was 35-3 Buffalo over Houston. So therefore, you don't know the first thing about football.
Was that in the playoffs?
That was in the playoffs wild card, right, Frank? 92-93?
There you go, 92-93.
Well,
I was
just going by the headline today in the newspaper and on America Online. I'm quoting them.
Exactly. You're like the certain section of America that doesn't watch enough football or sports to know that they always are going to make a big deal about the first black or race to do anything in sports because it is a big deal. It's the first. There's been a lot of racism, especially in the NFL, and Frank's been trying to tell you all along. You got to listen to him.
Bobby, since you follow sports, do you follow hockey?
Yeah.
Is that slick ice skating thing?
With the puck?
Okay.
Yeah.
Since you follow hockey, there aren't many black hockey players, are there?
No.
And I'm guessing because of that, there also aren't many black hockey coaches either, are there?
No.
Why do you think that is? Is it because they're being discriminated against and racism keeps them when they try to make the team, they go, oh, no, we don't want you? Or is it just because blacks have chosen not to get on ice and slide around? It's not their sport.
How many ice skating rinks do you see in the ghetto?
Not... Frank,
is there opportunity?
Stupid.
No, is there opportunity?
That.
I never played hockey either. I grew up in an area that was like, hockey? What the hell? I might be really good at it. My wife might have saw something in me, but I never played. Who knows? I never had an opportunity to play hockey.
So you're telling me the
inner city kids never have a chance to play golf. It's a very expensive sport. So that's why give the guy some sticks at 5 years old. Look at him. Jesus Christ.
So you're saying the only hockey player, all hockey players happen to grow up next to frozen ponds?
Not really black, they're French Canadians.
Well, whatever.
Doesn't count.
Craig in Phoenix, you're on Free FM.
So, as an NFL coach, you have to interview at least one minority for the job.
Would that include woman?
It does include women, African American or Asian or Mexican. You have to. It's in the NFL owners' bylaws that you have to.
I'm glad you brought that up, Heidi, because that'll never happen. But say a woman takes a team to the Super Bowl as coach.
Yeah.
Do you think that they should point that out and print it up in the paper?
I do.
She's a woman.
I do. I
There
agree.
you go.
I said, Frank, I'm on board with you. That's what I said.
You said you're on board with Frosty the entire freaking argument.
You're not listening to what I'm saying.
Yes, I am.
I'm straddling the fence because it feels good on my button. I'm saying I agree that you mention it. You say, wow, this is a big deal. It's the first time, in the history of the game.
I guarantee if we just mentioned it and then let it go, you'd be pissed off that it wasn't mentioned more. It's like... No one sees it.
No,
a woman in a male-dominated sport, she became the coach of a football team and led them to the Super Bowl, and we're just letting that slide?
No, you mention it, but I think what happens is when it does become a... What? Look at good girl. They're there. If you continue perpetuating, it's like, yeah, you know what? She's kick-ass. She's a great coach. And, yeah, you mention it, you celebrate her, and then you do let it go.
And we will. We haven't played the Super Bowl yet, and you guys are already over it.
But it's the media that seems to latch onto this. The minority has done something amazing. The media makes it a bigger deal than it should be. Danica Patrick is a great race car driver, is she
really?
Not? And she's hot, and she's attractive, and she's in a sport that's almost all men. Very few women have managed to drive race cars successfully. There's not that many Janet Guthries out there. Now, Danica Patrick probably, I'm guessing if you got a couple beers in her and asked her, to speak openly, she's probably sick of being pointed out she's a successful woman race car driver. I'll bet she'd like to be called a successful race car driver and drop the woman.
She's sick of all the cash and the endorsements that comes with being a hot race car driver.
Well, she's cashing the checks, and I'm just saying.
Isn't she doing the finesse commercials for her slick hair?
Yeah, but so did AJ
she
Foyt.
hates the fact that she has long black slick hair.
AJ Foyt did commercials for Head and Shoulders, as I recall.
No, he didn't.
Whatever. Well, how would you prove he didn't?
If he did anything, it was for chicken wings and ranch dressing.
Now I'm hungry.
Kevin, you're on with Frosty.
You had to get that guy out of the car with a crowbar.
Yeah, how you doing there?
It looked like a muffin was driving that car.
Who's bigger, me or AJ? Kevin, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just trying to say it's not really such a big deal, these two black coaches, because they're not the ones out there playing the game.
Racist, Kevin.
They're coming up with the strategies, but as you see, Marty Schottenheimer, one of the greatest coaches in the NFL, his team completely blew it against New England last week.
That's because Marty Schottenheimer sucks.
But
he's got a curse on him. God hates Schottenheimer.
It's a sad thing, but he's one of the greatest coaches ever, and the team blew it, not Marty.
He's a great regular season coach.
Yes, true. But it's the team that blew it, not Marty. And as far as the two black coaches, the media is pumping this up quite a bit. Just like earlier today, Pittsburgh just got their first black coach.
Who'd they
it's
hire?
A big news story,
Who'd they hire?
It's not really, it's not important.
Can you hear me?
It's not important.
Maybe you can.
It's on. I hear you. I hear you.
Testing. 1, 2.
Oh.
I hear you.
Maybe his phone only works one way, but he said some very good things, important things. Even he was black, wasn't he?
I think so, yeah.
Even a black man's going, okay, enough of the black thing. We get it.
Here's what I know. I've said this before. I'm going to sound like a complete moron, idiot, a-hole, and that's fine. I'm willing to do that.
What's new?
I know. Take a really good team. Name a good team. I don't care if it's football, basketball, whatever.
Sorry, we're out of time.
Oh, we'll take him there. We come back.
Come on, really. I want her to think about that point before she said it.
I'm very.
It's going to be really stupid, moronic, but I'm going to say it anyway.
I'm passionate about it, though.
Say it to yourself during the commercial break.
I did. I did it 3 times while you guys were talking.
I wasn't think it's worth saying?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good point.
Do you do that with everything you say? Go over it 3 times?
3 times is third time's a charm.
Okay.
Sometimes. Yeah.
You know what you're in for. People stick around.
We'll be back. Right from there.
Worth it, I promise.
Frosty, Heidi, and Frank. Free FM, Frosty, Heidi, and Frank. Super Bowl coached by 2 African-American coaches. Why is that such a big story? Why point out the blackness of the coaches? If we truly want to think in terms of equality, must we continue to point out when a minority does something great? Doesn't that point out your shock and awe that they could actually do something great? Isn't that a racist way of thinking? Stop pointing out when a black person excels. We have a black president. It's probably coming up. We got blacks at the top of almost every field you can think of, and that includes coaching. So can we stop pointing out the blackness when someone does something great? I wouldn't want to hear that. I wouldn't want to hear it. I'd say, don't point out that I'm black. Point out that I'm a great coach. Point out that I'm a great politician or a great singer or a great athlete. Don't say, oh, my God, Andy's black. Just shut up.
No, I don't. See, it's funny how you think it's degrading when I think it's inspiring. When I think it makes the playing field even more level for, say, the black guy. Did you see Trading Spouses with Marguerite?
I did.
And that black guy, the black family she went and joined, and he was just one of these guys who blames white people for everything.
It's like a militant, almost Black Panther sort of thinking guy, yeah.
Yeah, like I guess the most extreme racist of black against white that I've seen in a human being.
He's like a Klansman. You know, a Klansman just completely sees everything in white and black. This guy's the opposite.
Oh.
This shuts that guy up. That's why it needs to be pointed out. Because, you know what, these guys are here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what are you saying that, what are you still bitching about? Because you aren't motivated. And like I said, I think it's a personality disorder. It's not just a race thing. I think if you have a personality to be a blamer,
a victim,
then you're going to use that your entire life to explain your situation because it's never your fault. It's always somebody else's fault. So this shuts that guy up. That's why I think it does make that it is inspirational to say, well, I don't have my argument anymore. It takes the victim's argument away to say, well, why am I where I am? Well, I can't blame the white guy because, look, I guess I do have the opportunity. Look at the people who've made it, who didn't sit on their ass and say, I can't because I'm a victim, because I'm not allowed to. I'm not given the opportunity to. No, that's not the way it is anymore, so shut up.
That guy you mentioned, you're never going to shut him up. The militant
he needs to shut up.
He does need to shut up, and he's really disturbing and annoying. Trading spouses, you see it next time.
Do you think he's happy about the fact that there's two black coaches in the Super Bowl, or he's kind of upset because it ruins his argument?
You know, that guy would say, yeah, there's two black coaches, but then he would continue to use the argument of, but there's only two.
Or they don't make as much as the white man. I guarantee they don't make.
He'd put a negative spin on something. It should be a celebrated nice thing, whatever. That guy's, the fringe like that guy, the far left and the far right, you never talk sense into those people any more than you could talk sense into a Klansman. What's the KKK, which still exists, What are they going to do when we have a black president? And the blacks, running every single business and field you can think of. They're doing well. They're doing as good as any whitey. They're still going to have that horrible racist thought thinking that blacks are somehow below whites. You cannot talk sense into those closed-minded racist people. They won't listen. So who's this preaching to? The choir? You point out we got two Super Bowl coaches who are black. Well, the racist, fringe isn't going to change their mind about anything.
Maybe it's speaking to that little girl, his daughter, who's sitting there listening to all his crap when she hears the news and saying, well, Dad always says that he can't get anywhere because we're black. But look at that guy. He's going to the Super Bowl. He's the coach. Mm-hmm. What's wrong with my dad? As opposed to her learning from him and learning hate. The guy was preaching hate. Maybe this stops that. Maybe the next generation will be like, okay.
By the way, what night was that on? Because I wanted to see the next episode of Trading Spouses. It's part 2. Was it Friday night?
I have no idea.
Anyway, check your listings. So you got to see it. It continues this week. Trading Spouses. You won't believe that. 888-520-9710 is our number. Hello, Bob.
Yeah, I just want to say that back in the about 89, I was working with a major TV station, and we had a 3-4-piece unit that we had to carry for the news gathering. Well, all the guys got paid a certain amount, and to carry all that equipment themselves, the women that were hired carried partial equipment, but they had a helper that was paid to help them out with it. Now, and they got paid the same amount as the guys. Now, how is that fair?
It's not. It's absolutely not, and I'd be offended as a woman. It's like, no, if I'm doing the exact same job, I should be paid the exact same. If I'm not doing the exact same job, and in that situation he just gave, she's not doing the exact same job, so of course I should not be paid what the guy's getting paid. If I've got a helper to help me carry my equipment, but you guys are all carrying your equipment and getting paid, we're all getting paid the same, it's not fair.
The women assume they're doing the exact same job, and they might not be.
But you're not.
You might be getting special treatment.
Right. You're not doing the same job. If I have to hire an assistant to help me carry all my gear for my camera shoot, well, and you're carrying it all yourself, and we're getting paid the same? Of course that's stupid.
You can't help it. The woman's body, in most cases, though most women could kick my ass, the woman's body cannot carry as much as a man. Well, you probably could. Moose.
Well, I'm flattered. Thank you.
Lou, you're on Frosty, Heidi, and Frank.
You know, Frosty, this whole conversation shows how much of a racist you really are. I mean, you're missing the other headline that shows this is Peyton Manning's first Super Bowl ever also. He was drafted to bring the Colts to the promised land, and here he is. Why are you just paying attention to the black thing when you should be paying attention to that Peyton Manning taking the Colts to to where they
Okay,
never...
yeah, and that's a story, and you're right, that's getting attention, but come on, the media is overdosing on this. We have 2 black coaches. Everywhere I read online and last night on TV and this morning, and you're going to see that when the Super Bowl's here, they're going to overdose on this amazing phenomenon that 2 black coaches are in the Super Bowl. It gets so much attention when it should have got a mention on and gone and be done with it. But they're going to waller all over that headline, which I think sends a negative message, not a positive. This isn't 1955.
See, you think you're trying to, in your brain, you think you're being politically correct when actually you're not being.
I'm not trying to be politically anything. I'm just saying what I think.
You think you're saying the right thing. So, like, you're speaking for the black man. You're keeping them down by pointing out, oh, good for you. You finally did this. And, it's degrading. And you're not being politically correct at all. You're being the exact opposite.
I don't give a rat's buttocks about being...
You were going to say rat's black ass, didn't you? You were going to say that. I saw you from the
We saw the B.
Just glad I chose rat. I'm not even trying to be politically correct. I'm just saying the way a white person, view it, and I don't care what minority you plug in there. It could be American Indian, it could be Hindu, it could be Chinese, whatever. At some point, yes, let's all accept the fact in this century that anybody of any ethnicity can do anything. We're all equal. Our brains are made the same. So I don't see the need to keep pointing out when a minority group excels. That seems racist to do that.
What, it makes you feel like an underachiever?
No, it's not the great. No, whites have nothing to prove. You know what I'm saying? True equality means you stop pointing out. Okay, well, no, you did not.
Oh, I did.
Hello, Michael in Phoenix.
Hey, Frosty, I just wanted to agree with you, but I just had something to say. I think that you should probably, don't take this the wrong way, but you should probably stick with piano competitions and stay away from competitions that don't involve balls that are made out of skin.
Oh, boy.
I think that, and
Michael,
I think you're getting your Brian Greasy mixed up with Greasy Brian. I think that's the problem. That's why you don't know too much.
Michael, Greasy Brian.
Yeah, Greasy Brian.
Michael, are you listening? Are you listening, Michael?
I am listening.
In the words of Ludwig von Beethoven. Told you, didn't I? Hello, Jason.
Hi. Hey, I wanted to say that you both bring up a good point, but until we as a society until we as a society stop bringing recognition and notoriety to one's achievements and drawing attention to the color of their skin, we will not have dissolved racism. If a giraffe coaches a team to the Super Bowl, let's celebrate that.
Let me stop you right there. If a giraffe actually coaches a team to the Super Bowl and we don't point that out, there's a giraffe in the room.
Both teams are neck and neck.
How can we not point out the giraffe in the room?
See, Jason, had he shut up before the giraffe analogy, made a brilliant point.
But see, no.
But then he lost me with the giraffe thing.
No, his point is well taken, but we're not there yet. I think we can all agree, and all the callers agree, yeah, in a perfect world, that would happen. But we're not there yet, because this is the first step into the journey to getting there.
What?
We're not there yet as a society, and to think that we are, then you are blinding yourself to the problems that we do have, because you don't want to see it. Are you kidding?
This is not the first step. We've been stepping for years. I mean, all the other steps don't count.
Are we done? The point is, I'm saying we're not done. We're not close to being done.
We're done. There. Enough. Equality.
No, we're done. No, we're not done.
Because we can have a black do anything, including be president of the United States.
Not yet. Until that day happens.
18 months.
Until that day happens.
We're almost there.
Until that day happens, you can't say that.
We're almost there, Frank.
No, the same thing could be said for women and gays. I mean, it's the same thing. We're still not done. No, of course not. We're not done. There's still people who are.
I still think Hillary Clinton has a higher percentage of possible winning.
I think she's a lesbian, too.
There's still a section of the population who are sexist and who are bigoted.
You bring it back to gay. Is that what you did?
Well, since we're on gay, let's waller in gay. Let's
bring it back to gay.
Yes, and let's say.
No, I'm just saying because that's what I'm trying to be able to relate.
The gay giraffe.
I'm trying to relate to it in that, yeah, I understand. We still have steps to take. There's still a long way to go.
Since we're talking lesbian, let's say that Nancy Pelosi were a lesbian.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it have offended all lesbians if that had been pointed out? And the Speaker of the House is a lesbian. My gosh, if you're a lesbian, you can be Speaker of the House. It's like, shut up. We're talking human beings, not sex. Who cares if you're a lesbian or not? You can achieve anything.
If you think that in your mind, do you really think everybody believes that? When you just said the Klan still exists?
Well, not everybody.
That guy from Trading Spouses still exists?
You're never going to change the mind of the fringes, Frank. They're always going to be there and think in their closed-minded way. You're never going to change those people, but that's not most people.
Well, I think where it starts to get a little much
most people think like you do.
Is when you are, pardon the pun, put in a box like that as a gay person. When in front of your name you always see lesbian radio host Heidi Hamilton. Lesbian.
Right,
it's like, stop doing that. How about just...
There's an Out magazine in Phoenix, and I got an email from
Outlook.
them who wanted to do an interview with Heidi for being so strong about coming out on the air. Were you offended by that?
No, not at all.
Well, isn't that the same thing? It's like, why can't you just be a radio host? Why do you have to go into a gay magazine and talk about coming out and being a lesbian radio host?
Right. Here's what I'm saying.
That's the point.
I have no problem. I understand what you're saying, Frank, and that's why I'm literally straddling the fence.
But you can't on this issue.
Because, yeah, you mention it, and it is a big deal. You go, wow, more visibility, whether you're gay or black. Being successful and visible is only going to do your community
and the fact
good.
You can't be fired now. You're going to sue.
That's right. I'll own this place. Are you kidding? I'll own it.
Do you want to own this place?
Not so much, but I'd do a lot of firing, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we like it for one day.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously it is a good thing if you are out there and you're going to be more visible and you're going to do the community more good. It's a good thing to be out. I get that.
Okay, put the word homosexual in front of anything that's been an achievement. There's a newscaster on CNN.
Wolf Blitzer.
Anderson Cooper.
Now, everywhere I read, the Inquirer just had a few weeks ago, oh, who's gay and who's not? Of course, you got to buy that issue, see who's gay and who's
you
not.
Bought it?
Well, I buy it every week. But anyway, he was listed in there, and some people were saying, of course, this is all hearsay, saying that he's the gayest what do you call it when you haven't told everyone you're gay, but you're secretly gay? Closeted. That he's the gayest person in news media. Everyone knows he's gay, but he hasn't said he is.
More than you?
That's wrong on both counts. Plus, I'm not a news media, nor am I gay.
Never report the news, do you?
But anyway, my point is, if I were Anderson Cooper, I would think that is so irrelevant. He's got his own CNN primetime news show. If he were known as the homosexual newscaster, it throws everything out that he's done as a newscaster.
Then why tell that? Why even come out?
He's doing the right thing by not.
No,
because he knows as soon as he did, that'd be the story.
Heidi coming out, Rosie coming out, Ellen coming out. Why do that?
Let me speak on that then, Frank, because... you forced me. No, I'm kidding. You come out because what most people see on the news, let's say you take the Gay Pride Parade, you take the Montel Williams show, and you take all that stuff that people see. Because what happens is, Frank, a lot of people go, I don't get the gay thing, I don't like it, I don't agree with it. But if you're out there and people get to know you and you go, oh, well, I'm gay. And they go, well, you're cool. Okay, so it's not all like freaks. It's like really cool, normal people. Yeah, it is really cool, normal people. So I think more, you do it for the community more than you do it for yourself, if that makes any sense at all. So that's where I understand the black coaches is you go, that's for the community. That's to say, look.
We're doing crap for the community. You don't
Frank,
think you ever desired personally to be a head coach of a team someday?
No. It's saying to the black community, look what we can do. Look, this is good. I'm out here and we're successful and you can be this. Like Halle Berry, you can do this. Don't stop following your dreams. You can do this.
It's completely different because you didn't have to come out of the closet. You can't be in the closet and be black. As far as being a black person.
Right. No, I understand that.
You can't one day be like, I'd like to announce I'm black.
Shocker.
Well, yes, there is.
Well, then I had every opportunity as you before you announced that you were gay. No one you weren't wearing that on your skin when you left the house at an early age. Maybe you wouldn't have got the opportunities that you would have had. Like you said, your pool people fired you.
Right.
Now, that's degrading. When your pool people fire you because you're gay.
Well, you're absolutely right, Frank.
Exactly.
You're absolutely
and you
right.
had the chance to hide that to get to this certain point. He was black from the day he popped out.
But then that thing is the fact that you feel that you have to hide it because I might be held back. I better hold that back because then I may not have the opportunities that everybody else does.
So isn't it a bigger deal? Because what if you were out the day you popped out and you got to where you are now? Wouldn't it be a bigger deal? Wouldn't we announce that more?
Yes.
You had to crawl through the mud a lot longer?
Yes.
There you go.
How many of you are picturing lesbians crawling through the mud right now? Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
I'm picturing a lesbian NFL coach.
Take it when we come back.
Sexy.
Frosty, Heidi, and Frank. Free FM. We'll give this break here to you. 888-520-9710. If you're black, you get an extra 10 seconds. If you're lesbian, an extra 10 seconds. Whiteys, you only get 20 seconds.
I don't agree with that, but okay.
Hello, Bill.
Hello.
What's up?
Just listen to Heidi. I just want to make sure I was clear. Is she indicating that Montel is gay? Is that what she's trying to say?
Oh, no. I said
Montel.
No. I said usually it's the people, the gays who go on Montel and a lot of the gay people you see at the gay pride parade. It's always the freaks. You're just like, geez, and so people are scared, like, I don't understand that gay lifestyle. They're all a bunch of freaking crazy people. That's bad for the gay community.
Yeah, you didn't look like a freak at the Tony Bennett concert.
Wasn't gay back then.
That was just experimental.
Yeah, I was just kissing girls.
What's that gay pride parade they have in West Hollywood every year where all the news media goes down there and they selectively film the freakiest looking cross-dressers look like Cher and showgirls and all this.
It's entertaining, but the problem with that is that the people in the Midwest or wherever see that and they think it's all it is. It's not like, oh no, we have a house and we have dogs and cats and a nice little life and we do laundry and go to work and it's really kind of boring and the exact same life as you. Well, then
who would watch that parade?
No one would watch that parade, but yeah,
bunch of guys in Dockers walking down the street
going, where would you like to go for dinner tonight? That's not fun.
Sean, you're on Free FM.
Hey there. Hey, I don't think that it really matters if you're a black or a female or gay or whatever, but I don't think the nation's ready to elect a Muslim president.
Ooh. Oh, you about Barack Obama? Barack Hussein.
I know, Hussein's his middle name. It's like, come on, Barack.
Uh-oh.
And he spent his first, 7 years or 11 years, whatever, in a madrasa, which is a Muslim school, down with America.
Well, maybe he has an understanding that we don't.
Yeah, I agree. But don't you love the way the media has jumped on this and made that an issue when it shouldn't even be a story?
Aren't you glad they told you?
Not really.
Yes, you are.
No, because now the fringe misunderstands that and now labels him as some sort of terrorist.
He doesn't have a chance in hell because, again, you got to think about who's voting.
Yeah, idiots don't vote.
No, Frank.
I'm saying, yeah, some idiots do, but the idiots are going to go, that sounds like Osama. He's not there pulling levers, that moron. He's picking boogers. He's got a hanging chad from his nostril.
A lot of those people in Florida, by the way, elected our last president. David in Phoenix, hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Great.
It's an issue, particularly if you're black, because we are not too far removed from segregation to the point where blacks have to go in one door, whites in another. Also, Lovie Smith was applying for these jobs for quite some time and wasn't getting them. We have to understand that the old guard are the owners of these teams, and a lot of them do have jaded points of views. So to say it isn't important, you're looking at life through rose-colored glasses, because it is important, as was mentioned earlier, to a race of people who were at one time, right within your lifetime, were segregated, beat, lynched, and almost forbidden to learn how to read and write. Right, and so the accomplishments that come about within that nature are important to a people, and you can't equate a person's sexuality to a person's race, because the sexuality you can hide, the race you cannot hide.
But you shouldn't have to.
These are very, very profound thoughts from a black man.
Everybody's sexuality should hide.
But what is real is what's real, and what is this country is what this country is. Because if this young lady on the radio did not open her mouth and say she was gay, you probably would never know.
Well, why didn't she come out when she was single?
I mean,
she was waiting to settle for a man someday.
What I'm saying is this. Blacks you can't hide.
Exactly.
Discrimination in that area is what is very, very prevalent. And I'm happy the fact that there are two blacks. I'm happy in the fact that this woman came out and said what she is. I'm happy in the fact that
Let me ask you a question then, David. If, say, the Saints won, and you got the Coach Payton, who was an assistant coach, this is his first season ever being a head coach. If it was that guy against Tony Dungy, would you be rooting for the Colts, but you're a Saints fan?
No, of course not.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to give you a prize, David, for saying the right answer. I'm going to give you the TravelWorm.com Vegas passport, Breeze Pass, long lines, again, to Las Vegas, hottest clubs, ASAP. For all your Vegas needs, go to TravelWorm.com or call them at 888-700-VEGAS.
You know, when I was in Savannah...
My voice is leaving me fast.
You should do some voiceovers for the networks. Tonight on CBS.
If Danny ever calls in sick, I'll sit in his morning show.
Yeah.
Did we solve anything at all this hour? I don't think we did. Just got me all riled up.
Yeah,
I was bringing up the fact that a Bears fan this is such a good woman. She was going to go into labor, but her husband had season tickets, and it was going to be the same weekend that the Bears were playing the Saints. And so she induced labor early so he wouldn't have to miss the game.
You're kidding.
What a woman. What a woman.
That's a keeper. So then he wasn't even at or she had the baby so he could be at the birth, and then he could go, all right, have fun with that, I'm going to the game.
Yeah, she had the baby. She was watching the game in her recovery room with the baby wrapped in a Bears blanket while he was at the game.
Oh, you got to love sports fans.
I love the fact that she didn't say, well, you pick the Bears or me. Plus, it was their second kid, so who cares?
Hellish dilemma.
Which proves your earlier point.
First kid, she'd have made him be there.
Do you think he'd get in trouble if he paused to make his choice? Honey, smack!
Can we name him Lovey? Lovey Rex?
Frosty, Heidi, and Frank.
What's up, peeps? Jack Silver here, the program director of this 50,000-watt blowtorch that we call Free FM. You know, usually, I'm a pretty positive guy. Glass half full, nice ass, balances out the bad grill. But today, I am really pissed off. Why? Because thanks to Frosty, Heidi, and Frank's inability to get through a single freaking show without sneaking shots of cheap hooch and basically breaking every FCC law that was ever written, I can no longer spend my days macking on the hot sales chicks and reading surf magazines. Instead, I'm burning a path in the hallway carpet that leads to their studio about every 5 minutes so I can get in there and give these three nudniks extremely threatening looks, which, by the way, is giving me wrinkles. So, for ruining my social life and making me look older, these three mashuganas will now apologize.
We apologize to people with tuberculosis, my brother, Melissa Etheridge, and Linda Alvarez.
Mixed babies, valley girls, and gay black guys.
Chinese delis, the Jolly Green Giant, and the White Plague.
The Call of Graciela, Larry King, and Nick Carter, and my friend Sneeze.
Housekeepers, lesbians, and Middle Eastern pool cleaners.
Kenny Dukakis, J-Lo, Webster, and Iranian transsexuals.
A.J. Foyt, Anderson Cooper, Barack Hussein Obama, and blacks.
Tony Bennett, Nancy Pelosi, Montel Williams, and West Hollywood.
My dog Billy, Willie T. Ribs, A.J. Foyt, and giraffes. You really have to listen to the whole show.
Frosty, Heidi, and Frank on Free FM.